Hello everyone, and welcome back to Diablo 2. My name is Chance Brunton, and I'm joined once again by my friend Chris.
Hey everybody.
And last time we, what did we do? Okay, oh yeah.
We killed the dude, or the lady.
Yeah, last time we stopped, it was hammer time.
Yes.
And we got the Horadric Malice.
Yes.
For Charcy. And this time, we're going to descend into the Kata something or others. And,
yeah, catacombs, as us Yankees call it.
And we will defeat Andariel,
yes.
the naked giant lady.
Yes, yes.
So, very exciting.
Yes.
Let's go to the inner cloister then, and then we can begin making our way down.
Okay, sounds good.
So, just as we started this game, just before... Oh, join the party?
Oh, how do I do that again? P? Yes.
P, yeah. Just before we started, I saw that your name was Disco Space Whale.
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so the Disco Space Whale has been my username in most things for like the last almost, holy crap, 10 years. Around 2009, 2010, I got really into Daft Punk, which, as you know, is house music. Which is,
Like from the TV show?
No, okay.
I don't know what Daft Punk is.
You don't know what... Oh, that's even worse. Daft Punk is dance music, essentially. And it was really popular in, like, the mid-2000s or so. They made a bunch of songs. You'd recognize them, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to try to sing them. They're, like, essentially, they're robots who make dance music. But it's essentially built off of house music with French... It's like modern French disco music, you know, like Bee Gees and stuff. And I thought it was so cool to be like, I'm into disco. So that's where that came from. And then Space Whale comes from Final Fantasy IV, in that you, at one point in that game, you ride a space whale to the moon in order to fight the final boss. And so that's where my name comes from. It essentially is, look at how much of a nerd I was in 2010.
Yeah.
And so I've kept it because I think it's super dumb, and I love it.
Well, you named yourself after disco. I actually won a competition with disco.
Oh, okay, you need to elaborate. That's even better.
So that's nerdier. It wasn't a big thing. It was just the local youth center held a Valentine's Day dance, and they had people do like a dance competition in it.
Okay.
And I had prepared nothing for it, but I decided at the last minute that I needed to enter. And so then I spent like 15 minutes on YouTube Googling how to disco.
Okay.
And then I went through, I did, you know, the sprinkler and the car and all that sort of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And I won.
That's pretty awesome.
So
your story is better than mine. I'm impressed.
That was one of only 2 times that I've ever been connected with dancing, which is why I don't think I'm likely to know any of the like dance stuff that you were talking about.
Yeah. What was the other time?
I took a tap class.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah, you have told me that. That's very actually, tap is a relatively rare skill to have these days. So
yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah.
I didn't end up keeping up with it, but
yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not surprising. My sisters both did tap, but you know, they eventually switched off. My one sister turned tap into gymnastics, and that's what she does now. Although I think now that she's in college, I think she's kind of letting it go and moving on.
There isn't much room in college for doing other things as well. So
yeah, especially when she wants to party. We live in the South now. And she's at one of the SEC, like, big college football campuses. She goes to Purdue. And so, like, she wants to go to, like, all the football games and socialize with the football people. And,
right.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time to do your own sport if you spend a lot of time going to see other sports. But she was really, really good for a while. Not to go off on a crazy tangent, but, like, my sister was actually, like, really talented and was actually, like, even, like, thinking about going to the Olympics.
Wow.
When she was 16, but when she was 4, yeah. And she won, like, all the state competitions back in New Mexico and stuff. Like, she was doing a great job. But when she was 14, she broke her arm, like, really bad and had to sit out like a whole season. And essentially, if you miss a season, you miss a year of, like, getting better at skills and stuff. And also they need to catch up. And so she just was out of practice and, like, couldn't do it when she was 16. And now that she's 18, she's too old. It's sadly true.
That happens in places.
Yeah.
You know, it's always funny in like StarCraft esports and stuff when they talk about people and it's like, oh, this guy's 22. He's really old.
Well, yeah, you lose like for StarCraft specifically, you lose like the skill and like your tendons in your hand, and you just can't keep the APMs up. So Like it's like any other sport. Like, you just physically aren't able to compete with the young kids.
I find it hard to believe that happens for anybody at 22, though.
Well, if you've been playing StarCraft professionally since you're 16, it probably does. You probably get carpal tunnel like 8 times. So that would be my guess anyway. I'm also in the game. I'm just following you. I'm not really sure what we're doing.
Yeah. By the way, just before we started recording, I looked over, checked Geed's shop, and I got you a present.
A broken longbow?
Broken? What?
A socketed longbow?
Yes, a socketed longbow.
Do I want
Just look at the damage on it. You want to give it to your follower.
Oh! I thought this was like legit a joke.
No.
And you were like, this is your way of saying that you hate me. You're like, look at this broken piece of crap I got you.
No, last time I bought the only bow that he had.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it.
This time he had a new bow, so...
Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't immediately react like I was going to and be like, screw you.
That's for Amplisa, or however you say that name.
Yeah. Yeah, she has it. Yeah. Amplisa, maybe. No, that doesn't sound like a name. That sounds like
Ampliza?
Amplisa sounds like a drug you take. Like you see like advertised on TV. Take Amplisa. Side effects include dying. So for the sake of banner, actually, I have a question for you, Chance.
Yeah?
Do you listen to a lot of music?
I have been listening to a lot of music recently.
Okay, because like when you said that you didn't really know a lot of Daft Punk, I was shocked. So
all of the music I listen to currently is J-pop.
Oh, okay. That's one of the 2 answers I'd expect from you.
K-pop is the other one.
No, the other one is like classic rock.
Oh.
Because like, your parents and stuff.
I used to listen to things like the Bangles, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, and all that, but currently I really only listen to some Japanese bands like Scandal and Bandmaid and Silent Siren, for example.
I know none of this.
You should really look them up, especially like Scandal. Scandal is really good.
Okay. Well, at work, we don't have network internet, and so I have to listen to whatever I've downloaded on Spotify, which at the current moment I have every Fleetwood Mac album from their heyday, and the Hamilton musical OST, and that's it. And so I listen to those like 4 albums on repeat every day at work for 8 hours. So I can quote to you any line from Hamilton or any Fleetwood Mac song from like 1975 to 1985. I know every word. So I don't know if you know Fleetwood Mac.
I recognize the name.
Oh, they're classic rock, but an era. They're from the mid 70s, so like 10 years past all the classic rock that sounds like you listen to.
Well, I mean, I listen to various things from like the 50s through the 90s.
Okay. Well, Fleetwood Mac, you would their songs are ones like "Go Your Own Way" is like one of their biggest ones.
Yeah, I don't think I know any of their songs.
Famous from car commercials. I'm not going to sing it because I don't want to get Content ID match to get your video banned, but...
No, I'm sure that would happen, too.
Yeah, bands from the 60s and 70s are famously litigious. That's what they do. They make most of their money off of suing people for referencing their songs. That's only half the joke. But yeah, J-pop I do know, or K-pop I know a little bit of. I know Big Bang I like, but they're a dude band, so you probably don't like them.
I never heard of them, and that explains why.
And you like SNSD,
yes,
which I thought was not just Girls' Generation, but apparently it's the same thing. But I don't know. I like girl singers. I actually think I prefer girl singers over dude singers. And Fleetwood Mac's a good example, as they have a dude and a girl singer, and I like the girl songs better.
Yeah, women just have better voices for singing than men do. They can carry a tune much better. Yeah,
there's a range there, I don't even know if the range is different, but the higher range is just more aesthetically pleasing, at least to me. That I like higher pitched singing in a lot of cases.
What do we need? More vitality, I guess.
I probably need more vitality. Although I'm not dying as much anymore.
By the way, when you run out of stamina, toggle your run and walk while your stamina regenerates.
Oh.
And you'll get to places faster.
That's smart. I just been standing still every time it runs out.
Yeah, I've edited 2 episodes now, so I've been watching your point of view.
Oh, no.
And I've been trying to pick up pointers for things. And one of them was I never actually mentioned about the running. Also, if your stamina is actually 0, it won't regenerate when you're walking. So you need to stand still until you have at least 1 stamina point.
Okay.
And then you can walk, and it'll regen the rest of the way.
All right. Well, that's easy for me to do because my stand still button is E and my toggle run button is on. Very doable. But also, you can probably also tell that I don't actually play games at a desk, and so my mouse movements are probably a little erratic.
I have not been paying that close an attention.
Oh, okay.
When I edit, I have to watch both our viewpoints at the same time, and they're both in tiny little windows.
Gotcha. I'm out of space.
So I'm likely to miss the small stuff.
I'm gonna go to town real quick because I'm out of space. So if you want to join.
Okay. No, I'll push forward, and that way we can stagger our trips back to town.
Smart.
Because found the way. It's just up ahead from where your portal is. So I'll run back now, go through your portal, and clean stuff up.
Okay.
It's nice if we can split up and go to different places or stagger our trips back to town and whatnot, because then in the edit I can follow whoever's actually doing interesting stuff while the other person's taking care of boring stuff.
Look at you thinking like a actual video producer. Could you also tell when you're recording all the times to accidentally click off the screen, or is that not noticeable?
That is not noticeable.
Okay, good. Because I do it a lot.
Nothing happens. I think we're saved there by recording by window.
Okay. A little peek behind the scenes to those watching. I click off the screen because my mouse movements are weird and erratic. Because I essentially have it on top of like the corner of my couch. Because I only have the one monitor. It's my 4K TV. So it is a weird setup.
By the way, something else is that items sell for more if you identify them first, typically.
Yeah, you pointed that out to me, and I will use that.
Well, I wanted to mention it again now, because now we're recording, so now everybody at home hears that bit of advice as well.
Okay, yeah.
It's not always true. There are some items really early on in the game, like you can see me in the first episode identify a couple of things and be like, well, that wasn't worth it because they're really bad. But as a general rule, once you're past the very earliest part of the game, everything is worth identifying to sell it.
Gotcha.
We have Kane, though, so that's really easy. We should be identifying all the time from him anyway.
Yeah, it's cheap and free, so we might as well do it.
And if you find a staff that is particularly good, like there's a staff here with 1 to Ice Blast, and there's one with 2 to Warmth. If you want any of those and you don't have enough money, be sure to ask me about it, because I can also help you buy it.
There's a staff here that I want. It costs 80,000 gold.
Okay, that is a little bit beyond our combined budget.
Yeah, no, I'm screwing with you. I mean, I do want it, but I know that it's not for now.
What does it do?
Everything. Attack speed, Ice Blast, 3 to Telekinesis, 3 to Inferno, Cold Resist. Actually, in reading it out, it actually isn't as good as I thought, because I don't use Ice Blast or Telekinesis, so never mind.
Ice Blast is pretty good.
I probably should. I mean, I don't really need to mix up my elemental attacks until the second playthrough, right? 'Cause that's where the resistances start coming in on the enemies.
No, there will be some. Like, we did just fight a guy in the cathedral. We kind of skipped over him because we were talking other stuff, but there was a unique called Bone Ash that was a skeletal mage, and he was frost enchanted, and he was actually immune to cold.
Okay.
But there are other monsters, they can show up immune to particular element types or whatnot.
Okay.
They're that's just a lot more common on higher difficulty levels.
Well, I use...
So you do want to have at least 2 options to use.
Well, at the moment, I use Fireball. So if you find anything that adds to either of those...
The nice thing about cold is that cold can also slow stuff down, but the bad thing about it for playing with a Necromancer is that frozen bodies often shatter instead of dropping usable corpses.
Oh, well, okay, that sounds like a unique problem to you.
Well, yeah, it becomes my problem if you're using a lot of cold and I need bodies.
Yeah.
So it might be better to stick with fire and lightning.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I've only put any points into the fire tree at the moment, so
yeah.
I'm gonna definitely have to do a respec because I've already put points into Inferno, and Inferno absolutely sucks. So.
By the way, have you seen on YouTube? There's a parrot that sings "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor."
I have not. Actually, yes. Is it really old?
I'm not sure.
That sounds like something I may have seen like 5 years ago.
And I just thought of that when I said I need bodies. I can never hear the word bodies without thinking of that parrot anymore.
So these Japanese bands, these J-pop bands, are they like metal or is it like?
Honestly, I don't know the difference.
Are there guitars and screaming, or is it like just melodies?
I mean, there's guitars and singing,
but not screaming. Do you not know like the difference between metal and pop?
No, I've never cared about what the genres of music were. Careful, Andariel is here.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, we can push forward, but just note that she's going to jump on us now.
I'm as a fellow engineer, I'm a little offended that you don't want to put everything you experience in your life into categories.
I've always just, said, if it sounds good, I'll listen to it, and I don't really care what it's called.
I like all genres. I don't have a favorite genre or anything, but I just mean but I still want to know what everything, what genre they're in. I'm always like, okay, is this metal? Is this pop? Is this progressive rock, or is this like stoner rock? Like, I've always wanted to know all of that stuff. Like, I don't know why. I just always wanted to put everything into their categories.
I'm just too lazy.
Well, we got 2 Sabres dropped.
2 what?
Sabres.
Oh, sabers.
Yeah, Sabres. I take it you don't watch The Office?
No.
Okay. There is a part in the show where they get bought out by a company called Sabre, but everyone thinks it's pronounced Sabre.
Ah.
And it's pretty funny. But you have to. I guess you have to be there. You have to watch the show to understand why that joke's funny.
All right. I don't think we got very good loot there, but we got some gems and things.
We didn't. Did you pick them up?
I picked up some of them.
Okay. I didn't. All I picked up was one of the Sabres.
Yeah, between the 2 of us, we picked up everything.
Okay.
I checked for that before I left.
Well, this Sabre is worth a lot.
Yeah, but the biggest thing about having killed Andariel is that she was the act boss, so now we can move on to the next act.
I'm going to quickly swing over and have a Ladyface upgrade one of my items magically.
Okay.
Because you get that free one.
It's the only one you get.
Yeah.
Like, you can't pay for more or anything. She does 1 go.
Well, I've already done it.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. I usually end up, saving those and then not actually using it ever.
Okay. And I assume I want to keep this Eld rune?
Yeah. So when you're ready, talk to Wariv and say, go east.
Okay.
And we'll hope that it doesn't break anything, because it might break the recording.
Why would it break the recording?
No, it's fine. Well, because in older versions of Diablo, originally when you played this game, you had to swap disc to view the cinematic between acts.
Oh.
And so then in years later, as the game was kind of updated and we moved beyond the using of discs, there would be some problems with minimization and other things, as it was expecting there to be a cinematic, and then there's not a cinematic, and then it skips forward and stuff. And so it occurred to me that it could mess up the window. But thankfully, none of that happened.
Didn't seem like it did. All right, well, and now we're also entering uncharted territory for me. I've never seen past the beginning of Act 2, so this all looks essentially new to me.
Okay, yeah, that's exciting then. So let's go ahead and do the first quest while we're here.
Okay.
And then we can break off for this episode.
Sounds good.
The first quest is this lady over here, Atma. Yeah, she'll give us the quest. And basically, there's a monster in the sewers. It killed her son. She wants revenge.
Understandable.
So we need to go kill the monster. Now, there's 2 entrances to the sewers, but I have found through loads and loads of testing that this southern entrance is usually the closest to the way to level 2.
Okay.
I've kind of learned the random map generation to the point where I can kind of predict that it's usually in a certain place.
Okay, I'm about to make a comment, and I'm going to pause the screen real quick before I make it, so if you need to edit it out. But this dude over here in the corner, his name looked like it was me shit.
Oh yeah,
it's
Mashif.
It's Mashif, but it looks like, yeah. So just heads up.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Yes. I was like, excuse me, sir? So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Nice. I will never look at that the same way again.
I just saw that and I was like, excuse me, what?
Be careful here, because we'll encounter fire archers that are very powerful at this point in the game.
Okay.
So you wanna really make sure that they're not shooting at you, because they'll take your health down real fast.
I've gotten a little better at actually watching my health, because death penalty is so much higher than Diablo 3.
Yeah.
And also just learning to recognize, because in Diablo 3, the screen gets all raspberry jammed up whenever you are about to die.
Oh, over here. This is the way to go. So my system is I enter the dungeon and I go to the right, and if it doesn't lead me directly to the way down, I go back and check the other way. And lo and behold, the way down.
Very nice. Okay.
I have spent way too many hours playing this game, obviously.
Yeah, all of this is new. I think I did make it to Act 2 once, and I think I saw a little bit of it, but this is all essentially a new experience for me.
Okay. Well, there's gonna be a waypoint on this level, and so we'll want to find that, and then there will be a way down, and level 3 is where we'll find Radamat, the monster.
Okay.
that we're hunting. And those green balls are poison.
Yeah, I can tell your skeleton guys got poisoned.
Yeah, the decayed corpses always drop poison when they die. There's the way down, but let's find the waypoint. So the one use of finding all the waypoints, even if you're not going to go back to an area for quest reasons, is if you're a Necromancer, sometimes you have to, when you're in the middle of a boss fight, you have to back out of the boss fight to go re-raise your army. And it's good to have all the waypoint locations explored so that you can quickly teleport to different areas where you can find some monsters to quickly convert into minions.
Seems smart to me.
Running out of bodies really becomes a problem in higher difficulties and later in the game.
Well, yeah, because you're probably killing. Oh no! How did I not die there?
I don't know. I guess you let the archers surround you, and they kind of caught you by surprise there, I guess.
No, I just I looked down, and then I realized my health was really low, and then I panicked, clicked off the screen, and had to click back on, and then it's a miracle. But I need to refresh some potions real quick. So
I will keep killing things.
I am practically out of potions.
Getting us experience and loot, and looking for the way down, or looking for the waypoint.
The waypoint, yeah.
Yeah, and then the rest of this episode we'll spend all in the sewers, and then next episode we'll venture out into the desert and find the Horadric Cube.
Oh, nice. I have used the Horadric Cube, but only in do you know the what is the mod called? Median?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually had a weird experience with Median. When I was in college working in IT and was bored all the time, I actually ended up having a pretty lengthy correspondence with the developer of Median. And I talked to him a bunch. He gave me tips on how to be a game developer and stuff. It was pretty cool. It was weird.
You're dying.
Yeah, it's poison is what's happening. I'm getting poison. Apparently won't kill you. It'll just drop you down to 1 HP. And so I'm getting poison, then I drop down to 1 HP and don't realize it.
So the waypoint was down there. I assume that you got it because I activated it and you were nearby.
We'll find out.
Even if you didn't, it's not particularly important if you missed the waypoint, because I'm the one who'll have to come back for bodies. You don't really have any reason to come back.
At the end of the day, I'm mostly just following you anyway, so wherever you go, I go. Because I don't know any of this. This game is... Yeah, pretty much at this point, this game is entirely new to me.
Then you've got a great treat ahead of you.
Well, if it's anything like Diablo...
There's dying to there's dying to Duriel, there's dying to Mephisto, there's dying to Diablo.
I know, I've heard of him in Mephisto. I know what that is. He's like a squid monster you fight in the swamps.
I think, I wouldn't call him a squid, but he's in the jungle.
He's got a bunch of tentacles coming out of his arms.
I guess.
They're weird tentacle arm, tentacle wings that he flies on.
They're not really like tentacles.
Am I thinking of something else?
They're more like wings. Yeah, I guess, but he is in the jungle, so when you said swamp, that was, sounded close.
I know he's the Act 3 final boss.
Yeah.
I might be confused. That happens common in any situation in my life. I am often confused.
But anyway, yeah, you'll get to see how long the jungles take to get through, because they're very wide open areas, and they can be very confusing to traverse. There's a lot of challenges for us to overcome.
Yay, I'm excited. Can't wait. Can you hear my sarcasm?
No, I couldn't tell at all.
I am actually down for sarcasm. I'm down for some challenges. I'm just still learning. There's still a lot to figure out. Radamant has infinity health, looks like.
What?
This guy, this mummy-looking dude.
He's already at half health.
Oh, well, I had been attacking him for the past 2 minutes. But must be poor, or I could have been missing.
Okay, so
What is a falcon mask? I want it. Book of Skill.
Yeah, so we can get that, and then right-click it in your inventory to get a skill point.
Nice.
That you can spend.
Oh, this falcon mask looks rad, but it's druid only, apparently.
Yeah, you're looking for staves and eagle orbs, and
Why can't I have this? Level 15 required.
I think that... I'm not sure what else is sorceress only. Down here, by the way, there's also a chest that contains a Horadric scroll. We need that. How much damage do your skeleton... how much damage do you do?
Fireball does 15 to 19, and...
Oh.
Or Firebolt, 15 to 19. Fireball... 34 to 53 with a radius.
Oh, okay. So my skeletons all do 30 to 32 every time they hit.
Must be nice.
And I have 6 of them.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I strongly believe that the Necromancer is OP early game.
I've heard that for speedrunning, Necromancer is like go-to, or the Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know about Amazon. Necromancer is my go-to for just anything. I normally only play Amazon when I want something different.
Okay, so who do I talk to sell stuff here? Who's my go-to? Is it Farah?
Yeah, generally Farah sells armor and equipment, and she'll heal you when you talk to her.
Excuse me?
I said she sells armor and equipment.
My repair cost was 1,600.
I've never paid much attention to the repair costs, so I don't know if that's high or not.
Well, my previous ones were all like 100, but now I have like actual quality items.
Maybe, yeah, and maybe all that poison was doing damage to your items.
I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, well, are we good to call it there?
Yeah, I'm just real quick looking around at the various stuff that's in town. We should check for wands and staves, that sort of thing. And then once we've taken care of all our keeping, we can end the episode.
Does me shit sell anything that we care about?
No, he's the guy who takes us to Act 3. But we're not ready for that.
Oh, he's our Warav?
Yeah, he's a ship captain, and we'll sail with him to Kurast.
Okay, Elzix looks like a weirdo. Oh, he's a gamble man. He's keyed. Okay.
Yeah, Drognan is the guy you want to talk to for stabs. Lysander is the guy you want to talk to for potions. Lysander is near Farah. Drognan is up where I am.
Oh, he's got all kinds of sticks going on. Okay. +1 to 5. What is Blaze? Blaze sounds fancy.
I think Blaze, creates a path of fire where you walk. I'd have to look at your skill tree to be sure, but I think that's the one that leaves a wake of fire behind you for a time.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready to go. All right, let's call it.
All right, well, thank you all so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And next time, we will venture out into the desert and look for Horadric Cube.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.